Pike's pushed Moore and Farrell up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Standing out from the crowd is a challenge. You have the passion, courage, and ambition to do something extraordinary. You have an awesome story to tell and a wonderful vision to share with the world. At Eddie Videos, we take that vision and turn it into reality so you can be heard above the rest. You need something different, and we give you the ultimate advantage. We can help you transform your ideas, images, and clips into a professional video that brings your message to life and sets a new bar for excellence. Visuals, voiceovers, editing, animations, whatever you need, we've got it all. If you're a new business looking to make your mark or an experienced company searching for something new and amazing, we're here to help. Trust us to take your video to amazing levels of awesomeness.
Does he have it? Medeiros is going to get it. He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening and welcome to the Radical World Series America Round 3 live from Oulton Park. I am James Parfitt. I will be here guiding you through all the action. You've just got me this evening due to unfortunate sickness of Mr. Daan Pepels. We do wish him all the best of luck. He was hopefully looking to join me, but unfortunately he's not feeling too well here tonight. So you've just got myself. Welcome in, CJ. Hope you are well. Yes, you are first here tonight. That's partly because you haven't got Pepels typing out in the chat as well. We have just entered into qualifying, guys, here as well, and we do have 19 cars on track. We can give you a quick rundown of the standings while these drivers are doing their outlap. Eric Harmon is in first on 95 points. Rafael Benavides on 90. Franco Sanchez on 88. Juan Puyol on 86. Mateus Moraes on 84. Stephen Place on 62. Ty Kim in 7th. Christian Vizcarra 8th. Diego Zuccarelli 9th. And Philip Wyatt and Rafael Blanco bring up the rear. In the AM Championship, we've got Mike Klausing in first with Charles Krasik in second, Joel Jacklin in third. Not too far apart at all from them guys, doing an absolute stellar job. Then we've got Richard Hearn, Santiago Garbadini, David Anderson, Tyler Edwards, Andres Inop, Nicholas Seville and Max Siegel there as well. And in the team championships currently at the moment, Virtual Racing Peru 1 on 178, Virtual Racing Peru 2 on 142, Waterback Racing on 95, On Wheels TV on 84, Team Redline Can-Am on 62, Abano Sim Racing on 51, Event Matrix 42, and Hydro Race Geodesic Racing on 38. In the AMS, we've got only 3 teams. Virtual Racing Peru 3 in front with Elite West Racing in second, and then Virtual Racing Peru Solo in third. Right, let's see what's going to be happening here in this qualifying session. They do have 10 minutes of qualifying to see how they do here as well, and we're going to pick up on Mike Klausing currently out in front here as well. Yeah, it's a shame, but I've got no one to challenge. No, you haven't. A strong start to the year for Krasik. Same with Jacqueline. Yeah, they're doing an absolutely stellar job here this evening as well. And I think this race is going to be classic. It's at Oulton Park. Got no chicanes. You are literally running straight down from the Shell Oils all the way down into Knickerbrook. It's going to be a brave man to challenge down into Knickerbrook, but it wouldn't be the first time we've probably seen it, and I'm sure it won't be the last here either. So just be aware, Knickerbrook could be the site of many incidents and accidents, but let's see how they do here as well, as they are going to be starting their laps very, very shortly. If there some maybe on them already, but let's see if we get times in the board. Mike Klausing is the first person to set a time on the board here with a 1:21 as well. So they are battling it out nicely at the beginning of this qualifying. Let's see what happens and whether or not it, how can I say here as well, materializes into an absolute epic fight. I think that's something that we're going to be looking forward to, and you got to admit it's going to be amazing here this evening as well. Was in the background. Mike Klaus has just gone off. Stephen Place is out on track as well. He is currently on that run down from Shell Oils all the way down into Knickerbrook currently at the moment. 20 cars entered in the race today. Yes, there is, dear sir. So we got 20 cars on track, and Stephen Place has got 2 purples on the board currently at the moment. Rafael Blanco goes into pole on a 1:28.66. And we got Benno Walid, I want to say that is, in first in the AMS. Bear with me if I've got that name wrong there. I'm sure there's probably an easier way to pronounce that. But let's see what Stephen Place can do here as well. 5:40 on the clock. He goes over the line. Where's he going to put himself? He's already in 4th. He puts himself into 2nd. Eric Harmon as well on a 1:21 there and flying along. Juan Puyol coming across the line, takes pole position on a 1:20.72. Absolutely flying from Puyol there as well. So stay tuned. This is going to be amazing. I hope you've got your popcorn and you're going to be sitting nicely. Brendan Wright is coming over the line currently as well. He's on his fast lap. Let's see what Brendan Wright can do. He goes on at 1:23.623, so he does take ninth in the AMS. Overall, Eric Carman, who is sitting in 7th place currently at the moment in the pros, but sitting at top of the championship on 95 points. Here, he's another man on a bit of a mission currently at the moment. He's got 3 greens, a yellow and a purple. So he is flying along nicely. Let's see if he can keep this up until he goes across the line, of course, because at the end of the day, it's all about what they do when they go over the line and what times they are going to get on the board. Can Harmon keep it up here as well? He's got a yellow in the last sector. He's got green in this sector. What is Harmon going to do? Goes on to pole on a 1:20.577. So an absolutely flyer from Eric Harmon. Overtakes Rafael Blanco, Juan Puyo, John Benawalid, I want to say. Franco Sanchez just goes and pops it on pole behind him. Times are coming in thick and fast here as well. Some of them on their final lap of the qualifying. But let's see how they all get on here as well. They've got to be very careful of Islands, which is the corner that Sanchez is approaching now. Goes around there as well safely. What about Brendan Wright? He does a 1:20, moves 1:23.623, moves himself up. He's still in 18th place. So there we go. Hope you are well, CJ. Harmon on pole provisionally. Yeah, got overtaken quite quickly by Sanchez there. So unfortunately for Eric Harmon, it didn't last long. He was on pole for a split second before Sanchez went over the line and took it away from him. So there we go. 20 cars. We have got 20 cars, 12 IAMs and 8 pros. Well done. There as well. So let's see what John is going to do here as well. I'm just going to call him John, I think, because I don't know how to say his last name. So I don't want to be fully against getting his name wrong. Of course, you want to get it right. And then, there we go. John goes 1:22 there as well. So no improvements for John. Vizcarra, Brendan Wright again is improving as he's coming down to the final corner on the circuit, which is, of course, a Lodge. He's going to be turning right and seeing what sort of time he goes. We've got Rafael Blanco spotting purples currently. 3 of them, actually, with 2 greens and a yellow. So is he going to be able to make it through this time as well? Is he going to be able to go over the line and put himself on pole? He does on a 1:20.217. Mike Klausing in 14th at the moment is improving on his times as well. Klausing there with greens across the board. What does Klausing do? 1:21.185. So yeah, an improvement from Mike there. And Brendan Wright here around Shell Oils. Kevin Mulvihill. There we go. And Andres in up. Franco Sanchez is improving on his time. He's got some greens and a purple. Let's see if he can go faster than what he's done before. And is he going to be able to go in the line? Is he going to be able to pop it on pole? No, it is an improvement, but it isn't pole position. What about Brendan Wright currently? He's off around Druids and on his run down into Lodge. Is he going to be able to improve? He's got some greens, but it depends what the offset is against the yellows that he's got as well. If he's improving by a couple of tenths in there and he's only losing thousandths in the other sector, he might improve his time. 1:22.451. What did he do? 1:22.45. So there we go. It's very close, and I think it's going to lead into a good race here as well, as we've got 30, basically about 25 seconds. So everybody's done their laps now, and they are going to be sat there and waiting to see what happens here tonight. Judging by that, the fact that we've only got a second between first and also right the way down to 12th, I can probably tell you it's going to be very close. So there we go. I think it's going to be a very close one. Session has finished. We are just going to wait for the grid to pop up. Here is the grid for today's race. Rafael Blanco goes into first. Eric Harmon in second. Franco Sanchez third. Joan Puyo fourth. Christian Vizcarra fifth. John Benawalid in sixth. Stephen Place seventh. Rafael Benavides eighth. Richard Hearn ninth. Charles Krasik 10th. Mike Klausing 11th. Max Siegel is down in 12th. Then you've got Joel Jacqueline, Andrews Inup, Philip Wyatt, Cedric O'Han, Brandon Wright, Santiago Gabardoni in 18th, Kevin Mulverhill in 19th, and A.E. Stanislawski in 20th. So, bit of a mouthful, some of them names. I'm sorry apologies if I've got them wrong there. I'm sure these guys will forgive me, because some of them names are some wonderful names here, as we wait for the cars to get onto the grid. And see, yeah, we're just waiting for Rafael Blanco, Franco Sanchez, Joan Puyo, Christian Vizcarra, John Walid is on the grid as well. Brendan Wright will be the driver who is not on the grid at the moment. They've got about 40 seconds left, so they're gonna need to be getting on a little bit sharpish. What about Rafael Blanco? Is he going to be getting on here as well? Right, Franco Sanchez is left here. He's got about 15 seconds, so he better get on with it, otherwise he will be in the pits, and he is there. Rafael Blanco goes ready to start on pole. Here we go, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Oh, there was a jump to start by number 53, Charles Krasik there as well. He did roll forward on the grid. He's going to be under pressure, but it is going to be Blanco down into first place round the first corner. Then we've got Eric Harmon, Franco Sanchez, Joan Puyo, Christian Vizcarra, and John Benawalid there leading off us in this AMS category currently at the moment. Rafael Benavides is just being pushed out. He's losing time all over the place here as well. And Andrews Inup is up 4 places already off the start and into 10th place. They're side by side in Ireland there as well, and unfortunately somebody's gone off. That's Joan Puyo has gone off. Did he come back onto track or not? He is, but he's coming on in the very last place. Bar Charles Krasik's penalty, which I think he is going to get here as well. Stephen Place, Rafael Benavides for Virtual Racing Peru on their run down there. Stephen Place did hold it. Is he going to hold that position? He is, and manages to go round at Knickerbrook happily there as well. Mike Klausing is off track, unfortunately for Mike. He's just run off at Knickerbrook and he's dropping all the way down the base of the grid. Currently at the moment is now sitting at the back, but Stephen Place here is in 5th over in pros. Just in it, Rafael Benavides has gone off. Benavides is in the wall, unfortunately. It looks like Rafael Benavides went off and did hit the wall, as we can see it on board with him now. He's going to get onto the grass. He's not going to be able to do anything about it, and straight into the wall. Bounces back into the middle of the track, but unfortunate enough, he has been missed. Oh, there's been an incident with Siegel and Benavides. Siegel there. Looked like he's spun round. He did all on his own. And Benavides managed to get past him and go into the pits. That's Charles Krasik, Benavides, Joan Puyo into the pits here currently at the moment. But Eric Harmon battling away with Franco Sanchez, who has only got 2 attempts to make up here. Is he going to be able to get past him currently at the moment on that run down into Knickerbrook? You're a brave man with Oulton Park, I can tell you that much. Too wide here doesn't always work. And not this time for Sanchez, so definitely not for him. Brendan Wright has been off and he's dropping down the order. Unfortunately for Brendan Wright, he's down into 14th at the moment. He is up in 3 on his place. Stanislawski Stanislawski is into the pits as well. He's made a mistake. Mike Clausing's just in front, but Eric Harmon trying to keep Franco Sanchez behind him here at the moment. We have got a 30-minute race for you lined up, so let's see how this one pans out as we've got Rafael Blanco out in front currently at the moment. Stephen Place has just jumped Richard Hearn. He's gone round him there as well. Richard making a smart decision. It's a pro-and-am fight, not really a haze fight. Joe Jacklin can't make the move over to Cedric Ohun, and Christian Vizcarra has now got John behind him at the moment in that Lightning McQueen liveried SR10. There was quite a lot of people. Max Siegel, Richard Hearn, Stanislawski, Brendan Wright has also been off here, and Charles Krasick went into his pits for his stop-go penalty. Joe Jacklin chasing down Cedric. Joe in that, well, what can we call it? Blue, red and black livery. Cedric in the Lightning McQueen livery. John's also in the Lightning McQueen livery. Richard Harmon is still keeping Franco Sanchez behind him at the moment here as they're on their run up the clay hill by the water tower. They go round the double right-hander of Druids. And Eric Harmon is keeping him at bay currently, but let's, I would probably say with Franco Sanchez there, he's having a good old go and he's trying to make it through. As we jump on to Sanchez's roll bar, we can see Harmon in front of us going over the start-finish line now. 1:26.09, 1:26.36, Harmon was quicker. Sanchez on that run around the outside, dropping down into Cascades, the left-hander. Pulling it in as we go. He's going to leave it in fourth there, get onto the gas on the exit. I'm not quite sure fourth would have been ideal, but for, obviously Sanchez is a very high, you know, a very good driver, so I'm probably guessing he knows what he's doing currently at the moment. I would have hoped here, you know, that he's sitting on a 4.2k I rating, so he has got a clue what's going on. Jacklin and Cedric are still battling further down, and Clausing as well. There's Charles Krasick, there is Clausen, he's chasing down Brendan Wright. Brendan Wright has just run wide, unfortunately, and found himself onto the grass. That's never ideal there. What about Vizcarra? Vizcarra's got John behind him. This is a battle of a pro and am. Fighting it out. Harmon is lost that place to Sanchez, unfortunately. So Eric Harmon does go down a position. Oh, he went off track. He went off track, and that is why. He ran wide, and that has allowed Sanchez through on that run up through Clay Hill. Job done there for Sanchez. So unfortunate for Harmon, he is there off track as these guys gone round turn one and dropping down into Cascades. What about John here? Still behind Christian Vizcarra. Still can't get past him as these guys drop down into Cascades as well. Nothing doing there. What about Cedric and Joe Jacklin there side by side going down into Cascades at the moment? Jacklin does make it through. Cedric in that Lightning McQueen, that liveried SR10. It's got the same as John, so this is going to be an interesting one for me to work out who will be who, as John is in 5th place overall, 1st in class. So I'll just have to remember he's further up there as well. Harmon wide, yeah, he was, unfortunately. Sanchez with Eric Harmon. Harmon's not sitting in behind the slipstream, which I'm very surprised about. I thought he would have been tucked up right behind him, but he isn't. He is now. I would just follow Sanchez across the track as Rafael Blanco pulls out a 2.2 second gap at the moment. Here, 7 minutes in, just, well, 6.5 minutes. And Blanco is out in front by 2.3 seconds there as well. Everybody's still running, considering we had loads of people off track. So that's always good. I'd like to point that out, that it's always good that we've got everybody still running. But it's a shame that quite a few people have taken a dive out off the side of the circuit, unfortunately. Charles Krasick is now down 4 on where he started, but he is into 14th. He did have to go into a pits and serve a stop and go for that jump start that he made at the beginning. And Brendan Wright is trying to chase down Charles currently at the moment and not really making an inroad. 1:22.76, 1:25.74 last time, 1:21.56 for Charles Krasick, and Wright loses a little bit more time. Vizcarra slowly dropping John here, and he's dropping him off bit by bit by bit by bit. What can John do? Can he catch into the draft? He's got to get under about half a second here at the moment. He does close it in towards the end of the straight before they go round Knickerbrook and on that run up through Clay Hill. As we see out in front, Rafael Blanco, 2.8 seconds, doing an absolute stellar job. Keeping an eye on the lap times on the left-hand side, see if John can get it below half a second. Cedric has got it below half a second. He's chasing back down Jacqueline currently at the moment, and losing a little bit more time than Jacqueline at Druids. He's just lost a 10th over that one section at the moment. Brendan Wright's been off track. Rafael Blanco did run wide and has come back on track as well. Did he do that in turn one? He has done. Run a little bit wide over the bumpy stuff. That could have been a little bit more dangerous for him, but manages it to hold on here. What about John? What's he going to do with Christian Vizcarra? Vizcarra's been in front of him for a while, and at the moment he's still sitting in front of him. Is he going to be able to hold on? There is John right behind him, and he's not making inroads. If anything, he's losing more and more time here. What about Mulville? He's chasing down Johan Puyol. Of course, we saw Puyol. He went off circuit earlier on, but there was a lot of people off track. So many people have been off here, and it's not an ideal scenario for some of these drivers already. I think they got a little bit excited and unfortunately went off the circuit. So yeah, they don't want to be doing that very often, especially not in a short 30-minute race. Vizcarra has been caught up by John here in the AMs. Of course, Blanco leading the pros. Blanco here, the pros are in yellow, the AMs are in blue or gold, depending on what your eye is seeing currently at the moment. Personally, I'm seeing like a gold, yellow, maybe, but you know, we'll see how this one pans out as these guys go around Cascades. Is John going to make the move? That's going to be the question. Is that AM going to make that move over Christian Vizcarra? Vizcarra 120.81, John at 120.71. last time out, and that's what the times are looking like from Vizcarra to John. John was quicker over lap 7 and lap 4, and then Vizcarra over 5 and 6. How is this one going to work out now? Is John going to be able to jump in with 19 minutes left? He loses time in the middle sector. I think that's the problem. He loses time in the middle sector, and then he just can't get near him. Charles Krasik been off track. Richard Hearn is off. Oh, Richard Hearn, what have you been up to? Ooh, keep it out the wall. Keep it out the wall. He does keep it out the wall. A stellar job from Richard Hearn as well. So he managed to keep it out that wall, that side wall there that could have caused us a lot more problems, but didn't, and he kept the car straight. So an absolutely stellar job from him. Vizcarra opened up the gap. Now it's near above half a second currently at the moment. Some back markers in here as well, and they've just been lapped and out of the way, so fair play to them. I believe that was Stanislavski here in that SR10 as well. Be interested to know what the A and E stand for. Do you know what I mean? It would be good to know that, really, wouldn't it? Because we'd be able to call him by his name, and I wouldn't be able to sit here and try and fight with his surname consistently like we are with John. I'm just going to call John. I want to say Ben O'Walid, but it might not be that, and then I just sound like a complete Rodney by getting it wrong. Brendan Wright has been off track once more, unfortunately for Brendan Wright. He's having a bit of a torrid time in that SR10 currently at the moment. So Andrus Inop is getting a little bit closer to Richard Hearn. That's Hearn in front of us. There he is from Elite West Racing. As we see Inop just kick up a bit of a dust there as well. But let's see how these battles are materializing and whether or not they're working. Vizcarra still in front of John by that half a second gap. Sanchez has opened up 1.9 over Harmon. He's currently a lot quicker than Harmon at the moment. And here we go. John's pulled in the gap down to 2 temps using that draft on that straight, of course. Is he going to be able to make it? Is he going to just keep it? That's the question. Doesn't need to make this move if he doesn't want to, but obviously you're asking a racing driver not to make a move when he gets close. He has now closed the gap up. Vizcarra's on the defense. John's going to end up on the pushed out on the gravel. Now try to cut back on him. He's going to have to run. He drops down into Deer Leap over the side-by-side currently here as well. We're on board with John. He slots back in behind Vizcarra, which I thought was a little bit strange there. I thought he had the run, but that inside line is very difficult in turn 1. Drops down over the bump, tucks into Cascades. He's got to get on the gas early. He just doesn't quite get there, does he? And I think that's the thing. Richard Hearn been off again. Into that last corner, locks the brakes. He's turning, he's braking, he's trying to stop it. And unfortunately for Richard Hearn, he is now all the way down in 10th behind Joel Jacklin. Vizcarra's coming in front of us. We're on board with John. We'll go down to 3 temps, 2 temps, 2.5, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1. We're below into a 1 now. Oh, he's not getting that stopped. He's not getting it turned. A massive dose of understeer. He turned right. The car decided that he didn't want to go that way. He's got to lift a little bit more in Knickerbrook to get that turn, that rotation in that SR10. Because you saw it there, he just didn't have anything. He just had no pull whatsoever. He turned it and just did not go anywhere. Richard Hearn right behind Joel Jacklin. Hearn obviously recovering. Over the bump he goes, under the bridge. He's looking for that inside now. Into Lodge, nothing there. Is he going to be able to get him on the drop out of Deer Leap? He goes down now, plummets down the hill, up the other side. And again, no real doing there once more for Joel Jacklin and Richard Hearn. There's still 3 temps back currently at the moment. Mike Clausen's been off track once more and he's come back on pretty much straight away. Hearn's going to try to sweep round the outside in Cascades. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that move, I've got to be honest, because that's just a dangerous game that you're going to end up playing there, I think. If you're trying to go around the outside, it's like going around the outside of islands. You're just going to get pushed off. So you might want to keep that one a little bit, do it again somewhere a little bit more sensible. I wouldn't be looking at doing that. One man that is closing in on John at the moment is Stephen Place. Place did have the gap down to about 8 temps currently. These guys are going to be running side by side into Knickerbrook. Richard Hearn on the left, Joel Jacklin on the right. This is for third, the podium in the arms. And it is Richard Hearn who makes it through, but he's got a slow exit out of Knickerbrook now, up under, round the water tower we go, coming into Druids, the double right-hander. And Jacklin cannot get back at Hearn. Hearn runs a little bit wide though, spits up a bit of dirt. He's on the defense here. Jacklin again, still not making it through this time. So Jacklin's going to have to sit there, I think, with 13 minutes remaining. We're already past the halfway mark. This race has gone absolutely flown by, to be honest, as they drop down into Cascades. And right there, still as they are once more, Vizcarra. Still got John. John just cannot get below that time. He cannot get in close enough to be able to make a move, and unfortunately all the while they're doing this, Harmon's getting up the road here and he's already 4.2 up the road. Stephen Place is closing in. He did have the gap down, but he must have made a mistake unfortunately, because he's now got it back out again to 1.3, 1.2. He is coming, but ever so slowly here. Over the bumps, over the bump they go again. round down the hill and up the other side, and again the gap's out to half a second. So still nothing going on with these guys here, and nothing going on with Joel. Jacklin Place is moving in. There is Stephen Place. He can see the guys now in front of him. He's got it down at 1 at the moment. Can he close it in further? Can he jump both of these and take this 4th place away from Vizcarra? The man, of course, from Team Radline Yellow. Can he close it in at the moment? That's going to be the question. Is he going to be able to get it in and get it closed up and take the places away from these guys? Only time will tell. And we are going to find out in the next 11 minutes whether or not he's doing it. He's pulled into the back of John at the moment. And he is closing up the gap. But he's lost a little bit of time at Lodge. He lost that time at Lodge, didn't he? And unfortunately, it just didn't do himself any favours. He's now dropping further back as well. And he's back out again at 1.2. So for Stephen Place, he's obviously not loving that last section. And he's got to be looking to try and get through if he can, of course. But he's just not getting. He's got the gap back down to a second now over John and over Christian Vizcarra. But he's got to be he's losing time, isn't he? Place in Sector 3 and Sector 4 was quicker, but it's 1 and 2 has not been quicker. There is a back marker in the way, I believe, with Vizcarra, and that is Stanislawski, who moves over and stays well out of the way, well off the racing line. So great job by Stanislawski there as well. It's always tough when you've got the leaders coming through, and they are coming through as well. Christian Vizcarra, John and Place. Mulvihill's been off, Cedric's been off, Eric Harmon as well off track. So Kevin Mulvihill. Oh, that's coming out of turn 1. Massive amounts of steer on the snap on the car, and he just unfortunately come out there. Mike Klausing, Charles Krasik. Krasik trying to make his way through, of course, after his earlier, how can I put it, his earlier excursion. No, earlier excursion. He had a penalty, didn't he, due to the fact that he went and jumped the start. And that's why he is where he is at the moment, is Charles Krasik. So for him, he's just all about trying to recover it at the moment. It's side by side into turn 1. Krasik makes it through on Klausing, but can he now hold it? As these guys drop down into Cascades, that's going to be the question. He does hold it down into Cascades. What about coming down into Islands? Krasik in the orange, Klausing behind him in the green and white. I don't think Klausing's quite got the pace. Vizcarra and John and Stephen Place here. 8 minutes left on the clock. And this is a three-way fight. These guys have come together once more. And you can see Stephen Place, fastest man out the three at the moment. 120.23, 125.5, 127.1. Benavides is off as well. Rafael Benavides from Virtual Racing Peru has been off track, and he's into the pit lane. Unfortunately for Benavides. Very, very bizarre incident. I'm not going to lie. The car just snapped completely on its own. And John here sitting with Stephen Place right behind him. Here comes Place now. He's going to catch the draft. We're going to see him start working here. round Knickerbrook, up over Clay Hill, round the water tower, and then into Druids, the double right-hander. Oh, both men taking curb there. Stephen Place rattling his teeth with the way that car bounced over the curb. Good job it is only on the virtual world and it's not on the real life, because otherwise he would have been feeling that one, I can gather here as well. Santiago Garbodoni has gone off track. Garbodoni is still 5th in class, 11th overall. He's up 7 places currently, but this is the freeway fight. As these guys coming into the last 6 minutes: Blanco, Sanchez, Harmon, Vizcara, John, Place, Andres Inop, Philip Wyatt, who we haven't actually seen much of here. There is Wyatt. He's chasing down Inop in front of us. We've got 3/10 gap to them. Place is a little bit closer. Now Wyatt is coming into Inop here, into Shell Oils. He's going to be looking at trying to get a better run out of Shell Oils and get it on that run up into Knickerbrook, or down into Knickerbrook really, because they go up one way and then drop down the other side. He's got to stick in there with him. No, he's got to stay with him. And if you're going to do it, you've got to be brave. Inup's gone on a little bit of defensive, just parked his car in the middle of the circuit. That's going to jeopardise his exit out of Knickerbrook. What about Wyatt's exit? That wasn't a good one either, unfortunately for him. And he's dropped back here as well. These guys still fighting out. Stephen Place getting a big old snap on, coming out of Lodge through Deer Leap down into turn 1. And Vizcara, John and Place. Here over the curb they go. Into Cascades. Place is still closing. Krasic is still fighting it out further down. He has got Cedric in front of us there as well. Garbodoni. And he's fighting it out. Oh, big snap from Garbodoni. He's going to bring him right into the middle now. He's going to lose places, unfortunately. Krasic as well took the opportunity over Seddon get to past him. Clausen did as well, and unfortunately for Garbodoni, he's lost some places. Krasic and Clausen. Clausen's got a bit of a run going down into turn 1 currently at the moment. Is he going to be able to make it through? He's not. Place has jumped. John up front. We sit on them for ages. Krasic's run wide. That's going to allow Clausen on the outside, dropping down into Cascades. Clausen's going to make it through. Is he? No. Krasic does not give it up here. Krasic turns around and says, no, 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 no. I am still here and you are not getting through. What about Enup? Can he make it through? Here, he's got Wyatt though behind him. So the question is can Wyatt make it through? Sorry, got it around the wrong way there as he goes over now. And down from Druids, Wyatt on the right-hand side. Is he going to try this cutback? I think he is. He's got to get on the gas though. He's got to get on there early because Richard Hearn's coming. Wyatt now has got the opportunity. Either goes inside or outside down into turn 1. He's going to try the outside line. I don't think that's going to work here. No, he didn't. He didn't make it through. Don't flash him, sir. Don't flash him. Really no need. Because at the end of the day, it's your job to overtake him. It isn't his job to move out your way. No, no, no. We don't do that. Richard Hearn's now having a go over Wyatt. And Hearn wants to make it through here if he can. On the brakes. No, Hearn's gone in a little bit hot. He's going to lose a little bit of time. Wyatt did not get an exit either out of Shell Oils. That's going to allow Hearn now to come up right behind him. Here we go. Hearn's alongside into Knickerbrook. This is going to be a battle of the brave. And it is going to be Hearn there. Wyatt's going to try to cut back on him on that run up through Clay Hill. Not an ideal scenario. 2 wide currently at the moment. And Hearn did the hard work, and then Wyatt says, no, 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 I'm going to have it back again. And he has taken it back from Richard Hearn. 2.5 minutes on the clock. So it's going to be this one and one more. And Richard Hearn has got to go again over Wyatt. Puyo has just passed Garbodoni. And Puyo is through. Joel Jacklin slowly getting onto the back of Richard Hearn. Charles Krasik and Mike Clausen still fighting out with Cedric in front of us. Up over the bump he goes, under the bridge. He's got to defend that line. Stanislawski is moving over once more for him. And he's just out there, I think, getting some experience in here. So we've got 2 minutes. It's going to be about 2 more laps, I think, judging where Rafael Blanco is. Oh, Cedric's run wide. That's going to allow Krasik to run side by side down into Cascades. Who's going to run around the outside? Whoa! Wow. Yeah, you might want to watch that one, young sir. You're a little bit forceful, should we say. I think we can safely say Cedric there was a little bit forceful on Charles Krasik. You can see it here. Cedric goes offline, right? And then he runs in, and then he's just far too deep going down into Cascades. And Krasik's trying to run around the outside. Cedric goes in, misses the braking point, and unfortunately then nearly runs him off the circuit. Clausing and Cedric can't get through. Clausing still can't get past here. Over Cedric at the moment. Around the last corner once more. That could have been very, very dangerous there for Charles Krasik. It would have been Krasik's end to his race here. Mulvihill's been off as well, so we've got to keep an eye on that one. But this is not really changing up front here either. So we're keeping an eye on it. And 6th in the AMS currently at the moment. That can't be right. I think that's John. John and Mulvihill. Is it Mulvihill coming back on track here? No, it's not that one. John went off on his own. Wow. Okay. And now the battles that we didn't think were going to be developing have developed. Battle for lead of the AMS. And we're on the final lap. Where is Rafael Blanco? He's on his way out of Shell Oils. John's trying to go up past Philip Wyatt. And Inop in front is trying to hang on to this AM battle, his AM lead here. As Blanco is on the run up through Clay Hill and Water Tower. But is Inop going to take that win in the AMS after John made a mistake? That's going to be the question. What about Richard Hearn? Is he going to be able to get past John as well? But Rafael Blanco, 3rd place is off. Harmon's off. Harmon is off track at the moment. I think he's going to hang on, but it is going to be Rafael Blanco who's going to take this victory here at Oulton Park. He's going to come over the line with Franco Sanchez in 2nd place. I think it was Eric Harmon is going to manage to hang on, but he's got Vizcarra right behind him. He's just got to get over the line now. Harmon comes around the left-hand side. He's going to make it through. Harmon and Vizcarra there on that run down to the line, very close together. What about Joel Jacklin and John here? Finding out, coming down into Lodge. Richard Hearn is taking 2nd in the AMS at the moment. But it is going to be Andrus Inop who's going to win the AM fight here. What about John and Jacklin? And it was Jacklin snatched it at the line. What about Clausing? Clausing and Cedric here as these guys go through Druids. Clausing's got the opportunity. Surely he's got to be looking at making that move. Down into Lodge here. He's got to have a go. He's got to try and put it around the outside. Oh, you can't. And it is there as well. I don't think Clausen's going to be happy. Charles Krasik comes over the line. Santiago Gabardini will be one of the last ones with Brendan Wright, who's a little bit further back at the moment. Where is Brendan Wright? He has finished, so there we go. But yeah, there was a few moves there. that were a little bit questionable, I'm not going to lie. But here are the results of the race. Rafael Blanco is out in front with Franco Sanchez and Eric Harmon. Harmon was lucky, of course. We'll have a look back at that in a minute. Christian Vizcarra in 4th, Stephen Place in 5th. Andrus Inop wins the AMS in 6th, Richard Hearn in 7th, Joe Jacklin in 8th, and John there, who put himself off, unfortunately, in 9th. Philip Wyatt in 10th, Cedric in 11th, Mike Klaus in 12th, Charles Krasick 13th, Santiago Galbardoni in 14th, Johan Puyo in 15th, Max Siegel 16th, Brendan Wright 17th, and Kevin Mulvihill is in 18th place. Then behind that, we got A. Stanislawski and Rafael Benavides, who were 4 and 8 laps down, respectively. What did happen to Eric Harmon here? Oh, the bat marker. Who was that bat? That was Stanislawski. Wow. That could have turned out a little bit more severe there. But for Eric Harmon, he did manage to hang on. That was Vizcarra and Place coming at him towards the end there as well. So, yeah, it was going to be very difficult if Harmon had got caught there, because obviously from Stanislawski's point of view, he's obviously clearly not the quickest driver. And again, obviously, he's done a great job throughout the race moving out the way. So I don't think he was there on purpose. But unfortunately, he just got himself stuck there and was like, well, yeah, no, I haven't got anywhere to go. So, and the only place he did end up going for Eric Harmon was into the back end. So, yeah, not an ideal scenario for him as well. But I'm sure one that will be discussed at some point there as well. We've got anybody in the interview room? There isn't anybody popping in for an interview. I don't think people are coming in this evening here as well. So, wow, well, there you go. That was an interesting 30 minutes of racing. I'm not going to lie. The first half where everybody was off track, second half where all the action was, and there was some questionable moves there as well from certain people, but overall it was an interesting race. So yeah, stay tuned guys here on the JPB YouTube channel, because we have got the JPB Clio Cup coming up tomorrow from Suzuka East Circuit. We've actually got it tomorrow as well. We've also got the return of the LSRL GT3 and the return of the Sunday Drive Racing round 1 from Barcelona as well. That will be at 5 a.m. So if you are about on that one, you know, come and pop in and say hello. But that is going to round out tonight's broadcast, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. CJ, as always, much love. But for now, from myself up here in the booth, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.